This wellness session is provided to you by the Contra Costa Health Services Wellness Team. Please contact CCHSWellness at cchealth.org if you have any questions. By viewing today's session, we hope to enhance self and mutual awareness, understanding, and appreciation of different wellness, well-being practices, and perspectives. The content I will provide today is based on my lived experience, clinical experience, and research. In today's session, we will be discussing centering justice toward trauma-informed collective resilience and safety. Machixis Kuningas at Skye Innerarity. I am Northern Sierra Miwok and a citizen of the Ion Band of Miwok Indians. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist in Sacramento, where I work with folks in a private practice setting. Throughout our discussion, we will define the concepts of justice, trauma-informed care, resilience, and safety from both an Indigenous psychology perspective as well as a liberation psychology perspective. Second, we will explore a California Indigenous perspective on what it means to center justice towards trauma-informed resilience and safety. And finally, we will discuss how the information presented today applies to you and your community, including practical next steps and prompts to consider. Liberation psychology is an approach that we use to understand and address oppression among individuals and groups. Indigenous psychology is characterized as an intellectual movement across the globe based on the following factors. Some of these factors include a reaction against the colonization or hegemony of Western psychology, the need for non-Western cultures to solve some of our local problems through Indigenous practices and applications, the need for non-Western cultures to recognize how we maintain constructs and practices of psychology, and finally, the need to use Indigenous philosophies and concepts to generate theories on global discourse. Keeping these frameworks in mind, we're going to be using them as sort of lenses to look at the following definitions. So first and foremost, justice. I'm operationally defining this as the intersection of moral and ethical correctness or fairness. In terms of trauma-informed care, this is a framework that requires us to not only understand the prevalence of trauma, but to understand the effects and to recognize the effects of trauma and adversity on health and behavior. It requires professionals to respond to people with best practices in trauma-informed care, to integrate knowledge about trauma and adversity into policies and practices, and to avoid re-traumatization by approaching people with non-judgmental support. So resilience is closely related to safety. From an Indigenous perspective, as well as a liberation psychology perspective, we are focusing on ways in which we can empower people and not focus on detriment-based factors. So as we've navigated our relationship with the state park, the trauma that our community has sustained and lived through for several generations has come to the forefront. And in our relationship with the state park, it has been identified that justice is important for us to reconnect with the land, which feeds into aspects of resilience and psychological safety, right? By having a better relationship with the state parks, we can voice our needs, we can voice the needs of the land, and this creates not only a stronger relationship with the state park, but it also creates a stronger relationship within community and, most importantly, with the land. In terms of our summary and takeaways, I have this prompt for you to consider in terms of self-care. How do I experience justice, trauma-informed care, resilience, and safety? What do these experiences look and feel like? Looking at community care tips and practice, what does collective resilience and psychological safety look like in my family, community, and/or communities? And what are small or manageable ways to increase collective resilience and psychological safety? By viewing today's session, we hope we enhance self and mutual awareness, understanding, and appreciation of different wellness, well-being practices, and perspectives. The content I provided today is based on my lived experience, clinical experience, and research. This wellness session has been provided to you by the Contra Costa Health Services Wellness Team. Please contact CCHSWellness at cchealth.org if you have any questions.